cried the sparrow.
You're listening to the Sailing into Oblivion podcast, where we sit down with everyday people who do extraordinary things. I'm your host, Jerome Rand.
Oh, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Back to the show. Let me get my mic adjusted. We're rocking and rolling here. The winds finally came in after being becalmed for a good part of, I guess since the wee hours, the dark hours this morning, until around 9-ish. And we ended up actually dropping sail and just floating to kind of sort of mitigate the thrum of the engine. I did a little podcast using a different microphone, so I don't know if that's going to get in here, and I have a feeling it's probably not, because that platform's not great at doing this, or the app, I should say. So, in either way, we essentially had a huge breakfast. Made the traditional bacon buddies and all that entails, even hash browns. But just got to a point where we were like, well, the sea has eased up enough, and we won't really be rocking and rolling too bad if we just take a pause and get a little bit of sleep and all that sort of stuff. So in the Gulf of Maine, we sat for a good 4 or 5 hours, and then off in the distance, ye old front line kind of came in. And I know they have a term for it. It wasn't like the perfect, like, rolling front where you see like it's a severe, very distinct front line with a cloud that kind of looks like it's rolling over itself. This was kind of like that, but not exactly. But as it crept closer and closer, it was slow moving. I watched it for a couple of hours as it grew, and we pulled out the staysail. And as soon as I saw that wind line, and we're not 100% sure what the wind was actually going to do, so it was a bit of a gamble, but thankfully it did pay off. And then we ended up for the first hour or so just running under the staysail. It was stiff. It was enough, maybe like 20 knots of breeze as we ran with it, just in the beginning. And then as it eased off, as they do, we ended up putting up the second reef in the mainsail. And just a few minutes ago, we ended up actually dropping the whisker pole and flopping the staysail over to the leeward side. So we are no longer wing on wing, which we have been for the last bunch of hours, just rolling our little butts down towards Cape Cod. But now we're on a nice beam reach. The only issue with it at all is our ETA. Our ETA to reach the eastern cut into Nantucket Sound is probably around midnight or 1 in the morning. So it is going to be a night arrival. Although the winds are out of the north, so once we make the turn around, then we're going to be kind of beaten into it. So it might be, depending, it might be one of those times where we slog our way slowly into the choppy seas of Nantucket Sound, and we may end up pulling in at sunrise, depending on how slow going the little tack back up and into Harwich is. But we'll see. Other than that, though, it's been good. I don't know exactly what we're going to do for dinner tonight. That's a big curly Q question mark, but we'll figure that one out. It was freezing cold last night, and we ended up we had the lobsters from Maine, and then we had the second dinner at, I don't know what time, 1 in the morning. I cooked up the little chicken cordon bleu just to have the oven running and give us a little extra heat. We ran the engine quite a few times last night, just to kind of mostly it was just to give us electricity and a little bit of heat, residual heat right off the engine. But obviously we won't be doing that until we get into the sound tonight. So we're gonna take it easy on the old electricity for the rest of the day. Thankfully, this Jackery thing has been pretty darn good as far as holding its charge and everything. So we don't have to have like stuff plugged into all the actual house bank or anything. So we can just hold on to that. But yeah, that's it. We can go up, kick back, relax, enjoy some beam reach sailing, and then maybe we'll do a check back in as we make the corner into Nantucket Sound, and then pull into the safety of port. We don't even know, I've been uploading some of these forecasts because we have the Starlink, and I don't know. It's definitely everything is changing, and this little pull in might be very short lived, or it might be something where we hang loose for quite a few days. So we shall see. Other than that, I'm going to have my coffee. Delicious. It's almost time for the logbook, and that's about it. Thanks for listening, and this is day 2, Rockland to Cape Cod. Thanks for listening. Oh my gosh, we made it. Holy cow. Exhaustion level is at 13 out of 10. Oh, wow. And it's kind of funny too, because I pulled in under the same time frame last time I was here, back in August, except the sun came up earlier and it was warmer. But my brain is barely functioning, so I'm just going to wrap things up real quick. But essentially, I know I did a bit of a recording, yesterday. But I can't even for the life of me remember what I was talking about or what time I did that. So I don't know exactly where we were. Long story short, obviously we were becalmed, we motored, we shut the motor down, and we floated and drifted for a while, a couple hours, and then watched a sort of, a little front, a small isolated little cell, if you will, with that beautiful, curling edge of the cloud, dark and ominous, but that swept in from the north, and when the wind hit, we had the staysail already pulled out, just waiting, and we ripped. It was awesome, dead downwind, and then we threw up some mainsail as they eased up. But that pushed us the whole rest of the way across the shipping lane on the east side of Cape Cod and towards the little cuts in between Cape Cod and Nantucket. And once it got dark, that was about the time that we started getting real close to getting into these cuts. And that was the exact same time that my little devices started to malfunction. Wasn't that fun? So the little iPad with Navionics basically froze up and wasn't functioning. And then the one on my phone, the Navionics wasn't, it just wasn't coming up with my position anywhere near where I actually was. At one point, it put me on land on Cape Cod, on the, I can't even remember exactly where it was. But long story short, prior to coming in, because I don't have the full paper charts of Nantucket Sound, like the detailed ones, I did take pictures of that channel and the buoyage of the buoys that take you in and guide you through these shoals in this little rip area. And so I was able to use that. But then, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 minutes later, hour later, everything started kind of working again. And I put some charge on the old iPad, and then all of a sudden we were back in action. But it was a little nerve-wracking because there's a lot. Oh, gosh. Sorry. There's a lot of lights, as you can imagine, coming in. Lots of blinking reds and lots of greens, and you're kind of like, whoa. But, back in the olden days when I was first cutting my teeth, essentially one of the things you would do is instead of a smartphone, because those didn't exist, you had a pilot book, and you would look at areas like that channel, that cut to get into the sound, and you'd see the detailed chart and all that sort of stuff, and then you'd actually end up, or at least we used to, draw a little tiny picture, kind of just marked with dangers, mostly the buoyage and the light sequence and stuff like that, so that you could have that in your pocket. And you could be up on deck, and you can just look at it. It's your little reference. So essentially, I kind of did that with the phone, and I was glad I did. I was like, "Holy cow!" And it was just kind of nerve-wracking. And then, essentially, thankfully, we're on pretty much just a beam reach, so I had the ability to head up. I had the ability to fall off, and it's not like it's some crazy narrow cut by any means, but. I ended up, the wind started to die, so I ended up throwing up the number 1, and then I had the staysail. But before that happened, I went to go and put a little bit of outhaul tension on, and the winch handle broke, like the insides of it snapped and stuff, and then the outhaul snapped all in one go. I have a little safety piece of Dyneema or Spectra or whatever going from the end of the boom to the tack of the sail, so that if that were to happen, the tack, or the clew of the sail can only move about 1.5 feet or 18 inches, and so it won't like slide all the way forward and then all this ruckus. So essentially it's like easing the outhaul to its absolute maximum. And so I was thankful that I had that. I learned to do that one in the south of the Cape of Good Hope all those years ago. When that happened once before. But yeah, so that happened, and then we're doing this, and then I'm trying to figure out these iPads. I'm just like, what a pain. But lo and behold, hour after hour, we did finally make way and get into Nantucket Sound proper. And it's nice. It's wide open in here. It's definitely protected. I'm trying desperately not to yawn. Super protected and a welcome. We ended up going to weather, and we weren't super powered up, but we weren't in a hurry because I didn't really want to pull into this little harbor in complete darkness. And yeah, oh geez Louise, we did it. We freaking did it. And it feels really good, and being able to see the boathouse and everything and the dock is just fantastic. But I am right now. It is 7:30, just about 7:30, and I am going to crash. I would love to say that I am able to, in this state of mind, and I know I probably could, but I'm going to try and sleep. If I can't sleep, if for whatever reason, how sometimes you're so tired, you're just put your head down and your brain is kind of like thumping around. If that happens, I'm going to get up and take down some of the sails and tighten everything up, and then dress her, aka put the flags back up, because there is a lovely, lovely little vessel out here, Wayano, that's got its flags up in honor of, I believe, Mighty Sparrow coming in. So cool. There's some great people here, and I am so excited to see all of them. I just want to get a little bit of sleep so that I don't scare them when they look at me and see my bloodshot eyes and say, hey, Frankenstein, what are you doing? Yeah, crazy. Oh, Lord Almighty. It feels so good. I'm going to probably go walk around a little bit more, but the sun is about to come up. There's a nice big cloud bank that's kind of kept it at bay. Because I know as soon as that sun hits, it's going to be like, whoa. Oh, man, there it is. That's a full yawn. Sorry, folks. That's just how it happens. But, yeah, so that's leg one of the adventure. Haven't even looked at the weather. Don't want to. I'm just going to get some sleep first so that I can then pick apart the next leg and all that sort of stuff with a bit more of a head screwed on my shoulders. But yeah, thanks for listening. Hopefully you enjoyed these little updates and everything. And yeah, we'll keep the ball rolling as we go. All right. Thanks for the support. Thanks for listening. Till next time. Oh, wow. That makes a huge difference. Just like 2-3 hours of sleep, like uninterrupted, no motion, quiet. Oh, what an amazing feeling. I can't wait. And, still I'm a little land sick, but after tonight and hopefully 8 hours of sleep, oh my gosh, I'm going to feel like $1,000,000 tomorrow. And yeah, we're going to get some projects done. We're under small craft advisory from 11 p.m. tonight all the way until Thursday. And I've glanced at the weather and it doesn't look great. That's for sure. But not going to get too far into that. Until we actually really dive into it and take a gander at how we're going to make it work and whether or not we're going to get our butts kicked or if we're going to have to hold up. But we'll see. No point in stressing about it now. But yeah, we're feeling pretty good. List of broken stuff. We have a winch handle. We have the outhaul parted. So the main has to come off and the boom's got to come off so I can refeed all that, get it vertical. What else do we have to fix? I tore a piece of the Dodger, so the sewing machine has to come out. And the fridge seems to be working again. I did my little pot jobby, and that seems to be just fine. And yeah, other than that, just a bit of a cleanup, a reprovision, and we should be good to go for the next leg of the voyage. Hopefully, destination, if possible, is to make it all the way down to Deltaville in the Chesapeake. And there I can stage to either leave the boat there for a week and go off on that lovely Halberg Rossi, or if that boat's not ready and there's a delay there, then use the next available wind window to get around Cape Hatteras and to further south to the warmth of the sun. And, oh, man, I will be loving that. It's going to be cold until I'm sure we get down off the coast of the Carolinas. So we shall see. But feeling good. It was a good shakedown cruise. We had some nice wind. We had some light wind. We had some motor, and motor is just doing absolutely fabulous. I don't know what else to really wrap up. Yeah, not a whole lot. The stars were absolutely phenomenal. The shooting stars were great. Had quite a few kind of big ones out there, and that little thumbnail moon. The nice part about that thumbnail moon, we're gonna have the full moon in the next 10 days or something like that, which it's always a wonderful addition to any sort of coastal or offshore passage. Anytime you're having to sail at night, that moon makes the biggest difference, I think, as far as peace of mind and ease of sailing through the night. So I'm looking forward to that. Plus, it's just gosh darn beautiful. The open ocean under a bright supermoon is ridiculous. It's so beautiful, and I'm really looking forward to that. But right now we're at the old boathouse. Oh, we're gonna dial some things in, and yeah, I've got the flags flying temporarily just for show. It was pretty funny. The people of Harwich, all the people that I have met have been so gracious, so generous, and so wonderful. And because I've done a couple of speaking events here now, I know a lot of people, and it was funny. We were up on the balcony, and all of a sudden the little tour boat kind of goes by, and the guy's announcing it, and he's like, "And the sailboat on your left actually sailed all the way around the world without stopping." And I thought that was pretty neat. Sparrow deserves it. It's not something that I'm like, oh, look at me, no. But the boat, Sparrow definitely deserves the flags. She deserves to be dressed up. She saves my life and has taken such good care of me that all I want to do is make sure I return the favor as best as I can. So, yeah, bit of a Mod Podge episode. Thank you all so much for the support and everything. And, yeah, the next one will be a conversation that I recorded about a week or so ago with a really interesting couple. And I hope you guys are going to enjoy that, too. That'll come out probably on Tuesday or maybe on Thursday. So we'll see. Have a great day. Enjoy. Take advantage. And until next time.